The stars shone like tiny diamonds against the black cloth of space. The human ship Peacemaker moved slowly toward the meeting point. It was huge. Its long body stretched over 2 kilometers, making it look like a metal whale swimming through space. Captain Do-hyun Kim stood on the bridge. His dark uniform fit him well. He had been a captain for 15 years. But this was different. Today, humans would meet aliens for the first time. How much longer? Do-hyun asked. Ju Park looked up from her screen. As tactical officer, she always looked serious. 10 minutes, Captain. Their ships are already waiting. Do-hyun nodded. Remember, we are here to make friends, not frighten them. Ju smiled a little. Hard not to frighten them with our ship, sir. The Peacemaker is 5 times bigger than their largest vessel. That's why we need to be extra friendly, said Do-hyun. The bridge was quiet as they approached. 7 alien ships waited in a half-circle. They were small and sleek, with strange glowing parts that pulsed with blue and green light. They're hailing us, said Sun Ho-kang from his communication station. His fingers moved quickly over the controls, putting them on screen now. The main screen lit up. 2 aliens looked back at them. One had blue skin and 4 eyes. The other was more insect-like, with a hard shell and thin arms. They both wore simple white clothes. Greetings from Earth, said Do-hyun, bowing slightly. I am Captain Do-hyun Kim of the Earth Diplomatic Corps vessel Peacemaker *. The blue alien spoke first. Its voice was translated by the ship's computer. I am Tal, representative of the Galactic Coalition. This is Vex. It pointed to the insect-like alien. We did not expect your ship to be so large. Do-hyun smiled. The Peacemaker is one of our diplomatic vessels. We come in peace. One of your diplomatic vessels? Vex asked, its voice clicking. You have more this size. Of course, said Ju before she could stop herself. This is a mid-sized ship in our fleet. Do-hyun shot her a look, but the damage was done. The aliens glanced at each other with what looked like worry. We have been watching your world, said Tal. Your progress has been unexpectedly fast. Most species take thousands of years to develop the technology you created in just a few hundred. Humans learn quickly, said Do-hyun. We hope to learn from you as well. May we meet in person? The aliens talked quietly to each other before Tal answered. Yes. We invite you to the Coalition Council. It is rare for a new species to be invited so quickly, but your case is special. We will prepare a shuttle, said Do-hyun. Your vessel is too large to dock at our station, Vex added quickly. Please bring only a small team. After the screen went dark, Minji Lee, the science advisor, turned to Do-hyun. Did you notice how nervous they seemed? They kept looking at our ship's weapons. I noticed, said Do-hyun. Ju, what do you think? Ju crossed her arms. They're scared of us, Captain. They expected primitive humans in a small ship, begging to join their club. Instead, they got the Peacemaker *. And that's exactly why I want you on the away team, said Do-hyun. Your military background might make them nervous, but I need someone who can spot trouble. What about me? Asked Minji, pushing her glasses up. They might feel better with the scientist present. Good idea, said Do-hyun. Sunho, you'll come too. We'll need a communications expert. As they prepared to leave, Do-hyun looked out at the alien ships. They were beautiful but small. He wondered what other surprises waited for them at this Coalition Council. Remember, he told his team as they walked to the shuttle bay, we represent all of humanity today. Let's make a good first impression. What he didn't say was what he was thinking. These aliens were afraid of humans, and in his experience, fear could make anyone dangerous. The human shuttle docked at the Coalition station. It was a ring-shaped structure that spun slowly in space. Lights dotted its surface like tiny stars. Captain Do-hyun stepped out first, followed by Ju, Minji, and Sunho. 4 guards met them. The guards had green skin and 3 arms each. They held strange weapons. "This way," said one guard. His voice was deep and rumbling. They walked through wide hallways. The walls glowed with soft light. Aliens of many kinds moved around them. Some had 6 legs, others floated above the ground. All of them stopped to stare at the humans. "They act like they've never seen humans before," whispered Sunho. "They haven't," said Minji. Her eyes were wide with wonder. "We're the first humans to ever visit." Jumu walked close to Captain Doyun. Her hand stayed near her side, where her weapon was hidden. "They're afraid of us," she said quietly. "Look at how they move away when we get close." Doyun nodded. "Stay alert, but friendly." The guards led them to a large round room. 7 tall chairs sat in a circle. Behind each chair stood aliens of different species. In the center was a round table made of something that looked like glass. "The Coalition Council," announced their guard. "Representatives of the 7 species of the Galactic Coalition." Tal, the blue alien with 4 eyes, stepped forward. "Welcome, humans. Please stand in the center." The human team walked to the middle of the room. All the council members looked down at them. "For centuries, we have watched your world," said Tal. "We have seen your wars, your quick progress from simple tools to space travel." "You've been watching us?" asked Doyun. "For how long?" A tall, thin alien with no visible mouth spoke. Its words seemed to come from the air around it. "Since your people first made fire, we watch all developing worlds." Minji stepped forward. "We've never detected any signs of alien observation. How did you hide from our technology?" The council members looked at each other. Vex, the insect-like alien, clicked loudly. "Your detection technology should not be so advanced. This is concerning." "Concerning?" asked Juwu, her voice sharp. "Why is our progress concerning?" Tal raised a hand for calm. "Most species take thousands of years to develop space travel. You did it in less than 100 years. Most spend centuries learning to live peacefully. You still have conflicts on your world." "We are working on peace," said Doyun. "We have made great progress." "Yet you came in a warship," said the thin alien with no mouth. "The Peacemaker is a diplomatic vessel," corrected Doyun. "With enough weapons to destroy a moon," said Vex. "We scanned it." Doyun frowned. They had scanned his ship without permission. That was not a friendly act. "We have a proposal," said Tal, touching the glass table. A hologram appeared above it. It showed a document with strange symbols. "The Coalition offers Earth membership, but with conditions." Minji studied the hologram as it changed to Earth language. "These are restrictions on our weapons, our ships, and where we can travel." "For safety," said Tal. "All new members accept similar terms." Jumu leaned close to Doyun's ear. "This is not right, Captain. They want to take away our best defenses." Doyun stepped forward. "We need time to consider this. I must speak with my leaders on Earth." "Of course," said Tal, but his 4 eyes didn't blink. "Take all the time you need. But remember, membership in the Coalition brings many benefits. Protection, knowledge, trade." As they left the council chamber, Juwu whispered, "They didn't mention what happens if we say no." Doyun nodded grimly. He had noticed that too. The council was afraid of humans, and they wanted to control them. The question was, why? "Sunho," he said quietly as they walked back to their shuttle. "When we return to the ship, I want you to check for any signals coming from this station. Any transmissions they don't want us to hear." "You think they're hiding something?" asked Minji. Doyun looked back at the council chamber doors. "Everyone is hiding something. I want to know what makes the Galactic Coalition so afraid of humans." Back on the Peacemaker Captain Doyun called his team to the command room. The walls were lined with screens showing stars and the Coalition station. Sunho sat at a large computer, his fingers moving quickly over the controls. "Have you found anything?" asked Doyun. Sunho nodded. "Yes, Captain. There are hidden signals going between the coalition ships. They don't want us to hear these messages. Can you break their code? Asked Minji. She stood behind Sunho, watching his work. I already did, said Sunho with a small smile. Their encryption is not as strong as ours. Listen to this. He pressed a button. A strange voice filled the room. It spoke in an alien language, but the ship's computer translated it. The humans must not know about the Nulltech. The treaty will keep them contained until we can deal with them properly. Ju frowned. Who are the Nulltech? We didn't see them on the council. That's the interesting part, said Sunho. He showed them more messages on the screen. The Nulltech aren't on the council. They control it from behind the scenes. They are the real power in the coalition. An eighth species, said Doyun. Hidden from view. Sunho nodded. Yes, and are scared of us. Really scared. Why? Asked Minji. What makes humans so frightening to them? Sunho pulled up more translated messages. According to this, they believe humans develop too quickly. We adapt and create new technology faster than any species they've ever seen. They think we could become too powerful to control. And the treaty? Asked Doyun. A trap, said Sunho. If we sign it, we give up our best weapons and ships. We let them limit where we can go in space. Then, when we're weak enough, they plan to remove the human problem. The room was quiet for a moment. Juhu's hand tightened on her weapon. They want to destroy us, she said. They smile and offer friendship while planning to kill all humans. What do we do, Captain? Asked Minji. Her face was pale. If we tell them we know about the Nulltech, they might attack us right away. Doyun walked to the window. From here, he could see the coalition station. It looked peaceful, but now he knew better. How many ships do they have near here? He asked Juhu. She checked her screen. 23 ships within striking distance, but none as big as the Peacemaker *. Could we fight our way out if we had to? Asked Doyun. Juhu nodded. Yes, but it would not be easy. Haijin Choi, the ship's engineer, had been quiet until now. She stood up from her chair in the corner. Captain, I have an idea. Everyone turned to look at her. Haijin was small, but her mind was sharp. She walked to the main screen and pulled up an image of the Peacemaker *. We have not shown them everything our ship can do, she said. They think they know our weapons, our shields. But we have systems they haven't seen yet. What are you suggesting? Asked Doyun. A demonstration, said Haijin with a small smile. We show them what humans can really do. Not to start a fight, but to make them think twice about fighting us. Juhu nodded slowly. A show of force. I like it. But we need to be careful, said Minji. If we scare them too much, they might attack anyway. Doyun looked at each of his team members. Haijin's idea is good. We show our strength, but not in a threatening way. And while they're watching our demonstration, Sunho will send a message to Earth. We need more ships. A fleet? Asked Sunho. Yes, said Doyun. If the Nulltech want to eliminate humans, they should see exactly what they're up against. As they made their plans, Doyun looked again at the coalition station. The Nulltech had been hiding and watching for a long time. Now it was time for humans to step out of the shadows. All systems ready, Captain, said Haijin. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed excitement. Captain Doyun stood in the center of the bridge. Screens around him showed the coalition station and ships. He had invited Tal and Vex to watch what he called a routine training exercise. They stood nearby, trying to look calm. Begin, ordered Doyun. Haijin pressed a series of buttons. The Peacemaker * hummed as hidden panels opened along its sides. Blue light spilled out as the ship's full defense systems came online. Energy shields at maximum, reported Haijin. Weapon systems active. Tal's 4 eyes widened. Captain, these systems were not detected in our scans. We have many systems your scans didn't find, said Do-Yun with a small smile. This is just a small demonstration. On the main screen, they could see a field of asteroids about 10 kilometers away. Large rocks floated in space, some as big as mountains. Target largest asteroids, ordered Do-Yun. Jiwoo's hands moved over her control panel. Targeting complete. Fire, said Do-Yun. Bright beams of light shot from the asterisk Peacemaker asterisk. They hit 5 massive asteroids at the same time. The rocks didn't just break. They turned to dust instantly. Where 5 mountain-sized rocks had been, now there was only a cloud of tiny particles. Vex made a clicking sound of shock. Tal stepped back. 1/5 power, said Hyjin. Would you like to see half power, Captain? That won't be necessary, said Tal quickly. This demonstration is impressive. Do-Yun turned to face the aliens. There's more. Hyjin, show them the shields. Hyjin nodded and pressed more controls. Around the asterisk Peacemaker asterisk, a blue bubble of energy appeared. It shimmered in the light of the distant sun. Fire test missiles, ordered Do-Yun. Small missiles shot out from the ship's lower section. They turned in space and flew back toward the asterisk Peacemaker asterisk. When they hit the shield, they exploded in bright flashes of light. The shield didn't even flicker. These missiles would destroy most ships, explained Jiwoo. Our shields can block hundreds of them. Tal and Vex looked at each other. Fear was clear on their faces now. Why show us this? Asked Tal. Because friends should be honest with each other, said Do-Yun, just as the coalition should be honest about the Naltec. The aliens froze. Vex's thin arms twitched. We don't know what you mean, said Tal, but his voice shook. I think you do, said Do-Yun. We know the Naltec control the coalition. We know about their plans for Earth. How could you possibly? Began Vex, then stopped. Your technology is even more advanced than we feared. Sunho moved closer to Do-Yun. Captain, I've sent the message to Earth. They responded right away. He lowered his voice. 3 ships are coming. They'll be here in 6 hours. Do-Yun nodded. Good. He turned back to the aliens. We want peace with the coalition. Real peace, not tricks and lies. Tell the council and the Naltec that we will attend another meeting tomorrow. What ships are coming? Asked Tal, his voice tight with worry. Diplomatic vessels, said Do-Yun. Like the asterisk Peacemaker asterisk. After the aliens left, Jiwoo laughed. Their faces when you mentioned the Naltec. They were terrified. What happens now? Asked Minji. She looked concerned. The Naltec won't just give up their control. No, agreed Do-Yun. They won't. But now, they know we're not easy to fool, or easy to destroy. Hyjin shut down the weapon systems. The ships coming from Earth, they're not just diplomatic vessels, are they? No, said Do-Yun. They're bigger. The asterisk Defender asterisk, the asterisk Guardian asterisk, and the asterisk Protector asterisk, the most powerful ships humans have ever built. Sunho looked up from his station. Captain, the coalition station is sending many signals. There's a lot of panic. Good, said Do-Yun. Let them panic a little. Tomorrow, we meet the Naltec face to face. The next day, Captain Do-Yun and his team returned to the coalition council chamber. This time, they walked with confidence. No guards escorted them. The aliens in the hallways moved quickly out of their way. When they entered the chamber, all 7 council members were already there. They looked nervous. Their hands and tentacles moved restlessly. Thank you for meeting with us again, said Do-Yun. He stood tall in the center of the room. But we know someone is missing. Where are the Naltec? The room went completely silent. Then Tal stepped forward. Captain, I don't know what you think you know. Stop lying, said Jiwoo. Her voice was hard. We have proof. We heard your secret messages. Do-Yun nodded to Sunho, who played a recording. The alien voices filled the room. talking about the Nulltech and their plans for humans. The council members looked at each other in shock. "How did you break our codes?" asked Vex. "Easily," said Sunno. "Your encryption is outdated by our standards." Minji stepped forward. "We want to speak with the Nulltech." Now, the thin alien with no visible mouth moved closer. "The Nulltech do not show themselves to new species. It is not their way." "Then it's time for a new way," said Doyun. "Tell them that 3 more human ships will arrive in 2 hours. If the Nulltech don't meet with us by then, we will consider it an unfriendly act." The council members whispered to each other. Fear was clear in their movements. Finally, Tal touched a hidden control on his chair. "They are listening," he said. "They have always been listening." A door opened at the back of the chamber. 2 tall figures entered. They seemed to float above the ground. Their bodies glowed with soft light, and they had no clear shape. They changed as they moved, like water or smoke. "We are the Nulltech," said one in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere at once. "We have guided the Coalition for 10,000 years." "You haven't guided them," said Doyun. "You've controlled them through fear." "We have kept peace in this sector of the galaxy," said the other Nulltech, "something humans know little about." Minji stepped forward. "We've studied your Coalition. Each species is limited in what they can do, what technology they can develop. You keep them dependent on you." The council members looked at the Nulltech with new eyes, as if seeing them clearly for the first time. "Is this true?" asked Tal. "Have you been holding us back?" "We protected you," said the first Nulltech. Its glow pulsed brighter. "Without us, you would destroy yourselves, as humans nearly did many times. Yet here we are," said Doyun. "We faced our problems. We grew stronger. Your way keeps everyone weak and afraid." The second Nulltech moved closer to Doyun. "Humans are dangerous. Your kind develops weapons before you understand their power. You fight among yourselves for centuries. The galaxy is safer with humans contained. Or maybe," said Minji, "the galaxy would be safer if all species were truly free. Free to grow, to learn, to reach their full potential." "A new coalition," said Doyun. "One where all members are equal, even the Nulltech." "Impossible," said the first Nulltech. "The other species need our guidance." "Do we?" asked Vex, standing from his chair. Other council members stood too. "For too long, we have accepted your limits. Perhaps it is time for change." The Nulltech's glow dimmed. They had not expected the council to turn against them. "Our ships will arrive soon," said Doyun. "Before they do, I suggest we start discussing a new treaty. One that benefits everyone, not just the Nulltech." The first Nulltech moved back toward the door. "This is not over, human. We have more power than you know." "So do we," said Doyun calmly. "The difference is, we're willing to share ours." As the Nulltech left, the council chamber filled with excited voices. For the first time in thousands of years, the 7 species felt hope for real freedom. 2 hours later, space lit up as 3 massive human ships appeared near the Coalition station. They were even larger than the Peacemaker *, with long, smooth hulls that shone in the starlight. Each ship had the Earth flag painted on its side. The Defender *, the Guardian *, and the Protector *, said Juwu with pride as they watched from the council chamber's large window. Earth's finest ships. The Coalition members stared in shock. The human vessels dwarfed every Coalition ship nearby. They moved into position around the station, forming a triangle. "Your ships are impressive," said Tal. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "Thank you," said Doyun. "They're here to ensure peaceful talks." Suddenly, alarms sounded throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors. "What's happening?" asked Minji. Vex rushed to a control panel. "Ships are approaching." Many ships. On the large screen in the council chamber, they saw dozens of small, black vessels moving toward the station. They had no markings, no lights. They looked like shadows against the stars. "Nultec ships," said Tal. "I've never seen so many." "Neither have I," said Vex. "I didn't know they had this many vessels." The black ships surrounded the station and the human vessels. They outnumbered the human ships 20-1. A message came through to the council chamber. The glowing form of a Nultec appeared on the main screen. "Humans," it said, its voice cold. "You have disrupted the order we have maintained for 10,000 years. This ends now. Your ships will power down all weapons and shields. Your people will leave this station. The council will return to its proper role." Do Yun stepped forward. "And if we refuse, then this station and everyone on it will be destroyed," said the Nultec, "including all humans." Sun Ho worked quickly at a control panel. He looked up at Do Yun. "Captain, I'm detecting energy readings from the Nultec ships. They're charging weapons." "So are our ships," said Juwu. "They're ready to fight." Tal moved to Do Yun's side. "Captain, there are 10,000 people on this station. Most are civilians." "I know," said Do Yun. He touched his communicator. "Haijin, are you ready?" "Yes, Captain," came Haijin's voice. "The teleportation system is active, but we need more time to get everyone out." The Nultec on the screen grew brighter with anger. "What are you doing? What teleportation system?" Do Yun smiled. "Something your scans didn't detect. We're moving all civilians to safety." "Impossible," said the Nultec. "No species has mastered mass teleportation." "Humans have," said Minji. "Just one more technology you didn't know about." On the screen, they could see people appearing inside the human ships. Hundreds, then thousands of coalition civilians were being moved to safety. "Stop this," demanded the Nultec. "Return them at once." "No," said Do Yun. "These people deserve to be safe. Safe from you." Sun Ho worked at his controls. "Captain, I found something. The Nultec ships are connected to each other. They share power, share control. If we hit the right ship, we could disable them all at once." "Which ship?" asked Juwu. "The large one at the back," said Sun Ho. "It's sending control signals to all the others." The Nultec on the screen grew dimmer. "You cannot defeat us. We have ruled this part of space since before humans learned to make fire." "Maybe that's the problem," said Do Yun. "You've ruled too long. It's time for something new." He touched his communicator again. "All ships, target the Nultec command vessel. Disable only, do not destroy." The 3 human ships turned as one. Blue light gathered at their weapon ports. "Wait," said the Nultec. "Perhaps we can discuss terms." Do Yun nodded. "That's what I've been suggesting all along. But first, all civilians must be safe." As more people teleported to the human ships, Minji leaned close to Do Yun. "Do you think they'll really talk now?" "They have no choice," said Do Yun. "For the first time in 10,000 years, the Nultec have met someone stronger than them." The largest human ship, the Defender opened its main dock. It was big enough to fit a small coalition vessel inside. The meeting would take place there, in human territory, but with representatives from all species present. Captain Do Yun stood at the entrance to the meeting room. Admiral Juno Choi, who had arrived with the reinforcements, stood beside him. The admiral was older, with gray hair and a serious face. "Are you ready, Captain?" asked the admiral. "Yes, sir," said Do Yun. "But the Nultec won't give up easily." "Neither will humans," said Admiral Juno with a small smile. Inside the meeting room, a large round table filled the center. The walls were screens showing the stars outside. One by one, representatives from each coalition species entered. Tal and Vex nodded to Do Yun as they took their seats. Last came the Nultec. 2 of their glowing forms floated into the room. They seemed dimmer than before, less sure of themselves. "This meeting is unusual," said one Nultec. "Negotiations have never been held on a warship before." "The Defender is a diplomatic vessel," said Admiral Chanot. "Just like the Peacemaker *." The Naltek's light pulsed with what might have been anger or fear. Your diplomatic vessels carry enough weapons to destroy a planet. Yet we haven't destroyed anything, said Doyun. Unlike you, who threatened to blow up a station with 10,000 innocent people. The council members murmured in agreement. Their eyes showed new distrust of the Naltek. Let's begin, said Admiral Chono. Juwu, show them what we found. Juwu touched a control. The wall screens changed to show images of planets and moons throughout Coalition space. Each image showed mines, factories, and energy plants. These are Naltek operations, said Juwu, hidden from the Council. They take resources from Coalition worlds without sharing. They keep the best technology for themselves. The Council members looked shocked. Tal stood up. Is this true? He asked the Naltek. You have been taking from our worlds in secret. We needed these resources to protect the Coalition, said one Naltek. From what? Asked Vex. For thousands of years, you told us we needed protection. But from what? The Naltek didn't answer. Minji stood up. I think I know. You needed to protect your control. Your power. There was never any outside threat. This changes everything, said Tal. He looked at the other council members. For too long, we have lived under Naltek rules. Their limits. Their lies. We propose a new treaty, said Admiral Chono. A real coalition. Equal partners, including Earth. No more secrets. No more control by any one species. Impossible, said one Naltek. The other species are not ready for full independence. We are, said Vex. We have been ready for centuries. The room filled with voices as each council member spoke up. They all agreed. The time for Naltek control was over. The Naltek's glow faded even more. If you do this, you will regret it. We have one final defense system, a system that could destroy every ship here. Sunho, who had been working at his control panel, looked up. You mean the hidden weapons on the far side of the station? We found those hours ago. And disabled them, added Hyjin with a smile. The Naltek moved back, truly surprised for the first time. How? One asked. Those systems were completely hidden. Not from us, said Doyun. Humans are good at finding things others want to keep hidden. Admiral Chono placed a data tablet on the table. This is our treaty. All species equal. All technology shared. All resources fairly distributed. The Naltek are welcome to join as equals, not as rulers. The Naltek's light dimmed to almost nothing. They were trapped, with no more cards to play. And if we refuse? One asked. Then you leave Coalition space, said Admiral Chono. But you leave alone. The other species stay free. As the Naltek considered their options, Doyun looked out the window at the stars. The shadow of the Defender stretched across space, covering the Naltek ships. It was, he thought, a fitting image for this historic moment. 3 days later, ships from all Coalition worlds gathered around the Defender. A great human ship hung in space like a metal mountain. Its shadow fell across the assembled vessels as leaders from each species prepared to sign the new treaty. The main hall of the Defender had been transformed. Long tables lined the room, with flags and symbols from each world hanging above them. Large windows showed the stars and ships outside. Captain Doyun stood with Admiral Chono, watching as the representatives entered. Minji, Juwu, Sunho, and Hyjin stood nearby in their best uniforms. I never thought I'd see this day, said Admiral Chono quietly. 8 species coming together as true equals. 8? Asked Doyun. The Naltek agreed. Just this morning, said the Admiral. Once they realized they had no choice, they decided to join rather than leave. Tal and Vex approached the human officers. They looked different now. They stood straighter, their eyes showed new confidence. Captain Doyun, said Tal, bowing slightly, we owe you and your crew our thanks. For the first time in our history, we are truly free. You freed yourselves, said Doyun. We just helped you see the truth. And what a truth it was, said Vex. His clicking voice sounded happier. Already, our scientists are working with technology the Naltec kept from us for centuries. We will advance quickly now. With great power comes great responsibility, said Minji. That's something humans had to learn the hard way. We will be careful, promised Tal. And we will have human friends to guide us. The room grew quiet as the Naltec entered. There were more of them now, 5 glowing forms that moved slowly to their place at the table. They were still dim, their light muted by defeat and change. They tried one last thing, whispered Sunho to Doyun, a hidden weapon inside the station. It would have destroyed everything. What happened? Asked Doyun. Haijin smiled. I happened. Their technology is advanced but not very creative. It wasn't hard to disable. Admiral Chunho moved to the center of the room. All eyes turned to him. Today, we sign a new treaty, he said. His voice was strong and carried to every corner of the hall. Not a treaty of surrender or control, but a treaty of equals. Each species brings its own strengths, its own history, its own future. One by one, representatives from each world stepped forward to sign. First, the 7 coalition species, then the Naltec. Last came the humans, with Admiral Chunho signing for Earth. As the Admiral pressed his thumb to the document, the shadow of the Asterisk Defender Asterisk moved across the other ships outside. It was, Doyun thought, a perfect symbol. The treaty was indeed signed in the shadow of a human ship. What happens now? Asked Minji as they watched the representatives talking together. Now the real work begins, said Doyun. Helping these species grow without the Naltec's control. Teaching them, learning from them. Do you think they're ready? Asked Ju. Some of them have never made their own decisions before. They'll learn, said Doyun, just as humans did, through mistakes and success, through trying and failing and trying again. Later, as the celebration continued, Doyun stood by the window looking out at the stars. Haijin joined him. Something funny, Captain? She asked, noticing his smile. I was just thinking, said Doyun. For centuries, humans fought each other on Earth. We thought it was a weakness. Now I see it was preparation. Preparation? Asked Haijin. Yes, said Doyun. We learned to recognize control, to fight against those who would rule us, to value freedom above all else. Without knowing it, we were preparing for this moment. Outside, ships from 8 worlds moved in harmony. The Asterisk Defender's asterisk shadow touched them all, not as a threat, but as a shield. A promise of protection in a galaxy where, for the first time in 10,000 years, all species could reach for the stars as equals.